we all know, the entire world is currently under some sort of lockdown or quarantine because of a global pandemic caused by the coronavirus. While different countries across the world are coming up with unique and innovative solutions like imposing restrictions, mandatory self-isolation and social distancing measures, the situation is still pretty bad. So the recent way that is being widely used by different nations across the world is something called contact tracing. And all you need to do is install an app on your smartphone for this to work. The main purpose of the contact tracing app is, as the name suggests, to trace whom you have recently come in contact with and to notify and warn you if any one of them has been infected or tested positive for the coronavirus. The app will help the responsible authorities to decide who should be in self-isolation and also to better impose the social distancing measures where it is absolutely necessary. As a user of the contact tracing app, you can volunteer to provide details about your health conditions and symptoms if you have any. And the app will use the Bluetooth signal in your phone to connect with other phones near you with the app installed to exchange anonymized and encrypted codes. These codes will be automatically changed every 2 hours and are stored in your phone for 21 days before they get deleted. Let us now get into more details on what happens right after you install a coronavirus contact tracing app on your device, be it an iPhone or an Android phone, and up until the moment you might get a notification or a text message on your phone recommending you to self-isolate. The first step is to obviously install the contact tracing app on your phone. The app can be downloaded from the App Store or the Google Play Store based on what kind of phone you use, and the name of the app might also be different depending on where you are from. You can check for the name of the contact tracing app in your country or on your government's official website or social media page. Once you have installed the app on your phone, the next step is to register and enter your details. The details you provide might also vary for different countries, as some countries only ask for your PIN code information to trace the spread of coronavirus in your area, while some apps might ask for information like your contact details, age range, and even your name. All these apps have one thing in common, and that is constantly running in your phone's background and using a device's Bluetooth signal to contact other phones with the app installed. However, you don't need to worry, as all this information is stored in encrypted format in a highly secure server, and only the authorized health personnel and the people responsible for the handling of the app will be able to access this information. Your job is mostly over once you have installed the app on your phone and provided the necessary details. After this, the app would be running in a device in the background without interrupting any of your activities. If your phone comes into close contact with another phone, then the app will use the Bluetooth signal in your device to measure the distance between the two phones for every 15 seconds and will keep the information about the other device stored for 28 more days if the two devices came into close contact again. If you get any symptoms for coronavirus, you can then volunteer to log all your symptoms to the app, and the AI behind the app will analyze the symptoms and will determine a possibility of you being infected with the coronavirus. If the AI detects that you might have contracted the virus, then you will be recommended to self-isolate for the next 14 days by the app. The app will then analyze the phones that you have come in contact with and use the AI to determine the chances of the users of these devices having contracted the coronavirus as well. Based on analysis results, the app will then notify the users that have come in close contact with you and have a high risk of being infected with the coronavirus also to self-isolate for 14 days. Now that we have seen how the coronavirus contact tracing apps work, here is how the actual technology behind the contact tracing process works. Contact tracing mainly needs the Bluetooth on your device to function. Once the Bluetooth in your phone is enabled, every time your phone comes into close contact with another phone which also has Bluetooth enabled and the app installed, your devices will then exchange an anonymized series of random numbers or tokens to identify your device. This anonymous token will be stored on your device for 21 days. Later, if someone with the app gets tested positive for coronavirus, then they can volunteer to enter this information to the contact tracing app. The app will then ask the person's consent to upload all the anonymized tokens that were collected by the app on their phone to the cloud. These anonymized tokens, as mentioned earlier, are essentially a way to identify the devices and ultimately their users that your phone has come in contact with. So once these are uploaded to the cloud, the phones and the users that come in close contact with this device will receive a notification and will be recommended to self-isolate. While contact tracing apps are arguably a unique and innovative way to help stop the spread of the coronavirus, it is not necessarily an ideal solution. For starters, not everyone might input information about their symptoms to the app or even install it on their phone due to privacy concerns. And even if they do, there is no guarantee that the information would be accurate, and there might even be a lot of false positives generated by the AI. So the best thing you can do right now is practice social distancing and stay at your home as much as possible to avoid the spread of coronavirus, and hope that everything gets better soon. Thank you for listening to the latest episode of Tech Explain about how does coronavirus contact tracing apps work. Hope you have learned something new. Be sure to share it with your friends and check out our other episodes if you like to learn about cool stuff in tech. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast for more episodes like this in the future.